All right, it's your girl Stephanie Hardy live at Black WrestleFest, and the Hardy Wrestling Podcast is sitting here with the amazing Michael Bostic, who is the host of Welcome to the Rawrrzone, and he's also the better half of Janelle from the HR of the Jobber Tears Podcast. How are you?
I am great. I'm blessed. I'm so happy to be on your show. This is one off the bucket list for real.
That is so sweet. Off the bucket list? That's a huge deal right there. I feel like I've made it now. Off the bucket list. Yay. So I got to ask you, when did you fall in love with wrestling?
Oh, man. Wrestling. I fell in love with wrestling 98. I was a big WCW fan. But, of course, like everything with me, it all starts with a girl. So, she was into wrestling. I knew of wrestlers, but I never really watched it. But she was always, you got to watch this, you got to watch. So I would watch it. And then I just really got into it after that. Like, it was just really a love for mine.
Okay. So it started with the girl, and now you just kept going with it after that point.
It just stuck.
Yeah, I get it. Sometimes that's how it happens, So when did you decide that you wanted to start, sharing your wrestling opinions, whether it be on social media or with your own show?
I never thought that would be something I would do because I'm a casual fan. I've become a little more than a casual fan over time, but for me in wrestling opinions, a lot of times people say things that just don't make sense. They just blurt things out just for the sake of it. So then that's really when I try to put things in perspective. As far as wrestling opinions, when they were talking earlier about The Rock and Stone Cold, it doesn't really matter. It's who so it really doesn't matter. It's an opinion. But when they're stupid opinions or opinions that just don't make sense, that's kind of when I chime in.
Okay, so whenever you hear something that's just crazy, you're just like, you just gotta say something.
Absolutely. I just gotta open my mouth and say something.
And you know what's so funny? I've seen that even on Jobber Tears in the moments where you're kind of sitting off to the side, though. You'll chime in and say something, with Janelle and with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black, and it'd be so funny because I'd be like, well, if he has so much to say, like, why don't they give him a microphone or something?
I'm in there in the background a lot when they're recording, but I let Janelle have her space. That's her podcast, that's her space. There are times where I do jump on and get on the mic and talk, but that's her space, that's her podcast, that's where she grows, and I let her have that, so that's why I really don't try to jump in all the time.
Yeah, I totally get that. So what are some of your goals, with your own show, Welcome to the Rawrrzone? Like, is there something in particular that you would like to have or somebody that you would love to talk to?
I think I just want to see Rawrrzone keep continuing to grow, because we're not just a wrestling podcast. We do music, we do lifestyle stuff, we talk about sports, current events, and all of that. So I just want to see it grow and continue on the trajectory that it's on. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I want to see for it.
Okay, well, is there anything in particular in wrestling that you are liking right now, or something that you feel like could be improved upon?
So as you can see, I have my Bloodline hat on. You throw those ones up. I'm a big Roman fan. But no, I think the hate that WWE gets is wrong. I think they do a lot of things right when it comes to entertaining people. So I think that's something that I really enjoy. I'm not really a big AEW fan because they lack the storylines and they lack things that make sense in terms of just like wrestling wise. So I kind of shy from that. I do like the sports entertainment aspect. I like Danhausen. I like Hook. I like Jericho. Jericho's my GOAT. So, wherever he goes, I'm going to follow. But I think really right now, Roman is top. There's really not too much. I love anything Eddie Kingston is in. That's New York. He's me in the flesh. Like, that's me. That's who I am. So, like, when I see him on TV, I'm glued. So that anything he's in, I'm totally like interested in. I don't care if it's the worst thing on earth. I'll watch it.
That's pretty cool. So how does it feel to be a part of Black WrestleFest during this historic weekend, which is Juneteenth?
I think it's so dope to just have a bunch of black wrestling creatives come together, especially like someone from you coming from Alabama and Kiki coming from Texas, and just people come to New York and sit with us and talk to us about wrestling and how they've dealt with the different things they've dealt with. It's such a dope moment, and then that culminates tomorrow with the dope. It's so dope.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to be a part of it, you know, coming from as far as I've come. Like, it's just, like, I've wanted to come to New York, you know, for the longest, but now that I'm actually here, like, it's amazing, and I feel loved on, and I feel, you know, appreciated, and just, you know, just all of the things. So I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, you have a family here. You definitely have a family here. I said it earlier. I said the love that you get, normal people don't get that from New Yorkers. So to see that, it's love. That's real, genuine love. Like you asked before, people kissing you on the cheek, that's not normal behavior. Like, I wouldn't do it. Like, that's not my first thing to do, but that's the love we have for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that comes from.
And I appreciate it, and I love it so much. Well, Michael, thank you so much for coming on the live vibe of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. So tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, and tell everybody what else you've got going on.
All right. Well, you can find me everywhere, _Heel Classic. You can find the podcast, Welcome to the Rawrrzone, at Rawrrzone NYC. I have a single out right now. It's called Dangerous. It's on all streaming platforms, so please go check that out. I appreciate that. And so my EP is coming out in August, so look out for that.
Well, thank you so much for coming on this version of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. It's live at Black WrestleFest. It's going crazy, guys. It's amazing.